Welcome to the Rapport Advantage podcast, transforming the way leaders communicate. Here's your host, human behavior expert and professional speaker, Alex Swire-Clark.
Welcome to a rainy, hazy, nasty, cold Rapport Advantage podcast today. How are you, Liz, other than bundled up?
I am bundled up. I'm warm, but your voice warms me even more, Alex.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No.
Quit lying. Okay. Welcome to the show, everyone, the Rapport Advantage podcast. We are here always to help you increase your emotional intelligence, break down those walls of miscommunication, and build better relationships in the workplace and beyond. Yeehaw! It's that kind of show today. It's a high D show, starting our new 4-part series. We just finished up one with our high D's, I's, S's, and C's, looking at driving forces behind the sale. This next 4-part series, we're going to talk about hindering factors in selling to the various styles. So what's going to turn them off? What's going to make them say, I don't know. Again, we want them to say yes. We want to avoid these hindering factors and make sure we're focusing on those particular styles and what they need to forget the hindering. We want the yes.
Yes.
That's what we want.
No.
If they come back with that, then we've not done our jobs well.
Yes.
Exactly. You know who we are, but just in case this is the first time you're listening, which we do have some first-time listeners out there, I am Alex Swire-Clark. I am a CEO, a speaker, and an emotional intelligence expert.
And I am Liz Parker. I'm a certified behavioral analyst. I do job benchmarking, strategic growth, and a Vistage chair.
Wonderful. This show is all about you, the listener. Give us your input and feedback on Facebook at The Rapport Advantage or The Rapport Advantage Podcast, on Twitter at Rapport Podcast, or you can visit the website at rapportadvantage.com. Again, show topic today, hindering factors in selling to a high D. And so the first one on that list is being indecisive. If a D comes back and offers you a question, you better have an answer, and it better make sense, and it better be right off the top of your head, or you're going to get you're done.
That is exactly right. And I'm telling you, that can be stressful to some of the other styles. So if you cannot be a direct speaker, you need to really think through what it could be that the D's thinking so you can be ready.
That's right. That's right. Number 2 on this list, not answering objectives directly. So what is the main goal? What are we all about? You've heard us talk about that in previous podcasts. D's love to have that question, what? Always top of mind, not answering objectives directly. And that goes back to the standpoint of, what are we getting out of this? What is this going to do for my company? What is this doing for my bottom line? And you've got to answer those in a, well, Brian, here's what's going to happen, ... As opposed to, in the past, you heard me pause there a little bit. Well, that kind of thing, that's going to go over very, very poorly. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about, or this gal doesn't know what she's talking about. They don't have a clue about their own content. Why should I do business with them? So you're going to create that very inferior posture, and that's not what you want with a D.
Anytime you have a pause, they think that either you don't know what's going on or you've lost their attention, which takes you to also, if you go to number 3, I can see we're in a D mode today. We are just clicking these through. So the 3 one is explaining too many details. And that is a definite no-no with a D. If you get into way too many details, you have lost their attention. Their mind is somewhere else. They want to know the high points. They want to know the big picture and move on so they can make their decision.
That's right. Give them the performa and just tell them, when you look at this for about 30 minutes, here's what you're going to see, and give them the bullet point. Okay, the revenue is going to increase by 13.7%. That's all you really need to know. Okay, and then they'll just put that to the side and be done, as opposed to a C who's going to sit there for 10 minutes and analyze every single sale. Well, hey, wait a minute. Cell 13, our performance on that one is, our profit loss. We'll get to those C's later. So don't dwell in the weeds too much. Get those facts, a couple of bullet points, and move on. Number 4 on this list, don't give opinions, give options. They don't want to hear you just, pontificating about this, that, and the other. Say, here's what it is. You've got, this choice, gold, silver, or bronze package, that kind of thing. And then here's what you can do. And so that way you're not focusing on the, you might want to get, who cares what you might want to do? What do they want to do?
And that definitely follows. The two of them follow together. If you don't want to give opinions because the fact they don't care about your opinion, they only care about theirs, means that the last one is focusing on the D. We are all about making sure the D has a slightly high ego, we might say. So they like to be that center of attention and want people really looking at them. They don't want you falling all over them. They want you to be respectful of who they are, what they know, everything that has to do with results. So you want to make sure that if you have a meeting where you've got maybe 3 or 4 other people in the room, you are focusing on the D in the room. That person is the main decision maker, whether they have it by title or not. They believe they do.
That's right.
So focus on them and don't worry so much about the other people in the room, unless, of course, they're Ds. Then you do have to split your time.
That's right. And then you got to focus on who asked the question. So when I teach interview skills to people and you're in front of a committee, let's say if it's for a scholarship or, a job offering or whatever, you typically start with the person that addressed the question to you, and then you make eye contact going down the line, spend about, if you're going to spend 2 minutes answering this question, 30 seconds on the first person, 30 seconds on the next person, 30 seconds of eye contact towards the end for the last person who would not have asked the question. And that works great when you don't have a lot of Ds in the room. But when you do have a D in the room, you need to spend much more eye contact there. And as like we talked about in the past with body language, you need to be not aggressive in the way that you speak, but you need to be pointed. You need to be direct. There's not a lot of fluff. Don't give them a lot of stories. Just hit the points, get in, get out. And they'll say, okay, why should we select you for this job, Alex? And then you go into my 3 points about what separates me from the rest of the pack. You don't go into, my love of education has always been a part of my life, and I love children, and that's transposed into the foreign languages of the equations of the, Dude, you just lost them, man. Why? Okay, because my GPA is better than everybody's in this room, because my experience is better than everybody in this room, and da-da-da-da-da, and here's where I work with, this particular insurance company, and this particular consulting agency, and da-da-da-da-da. My resume is impressive. And that's what you give them.
Up until this last one, I thought you were modeling the D very well. So I'm glad to hear your personality come back through on this last one, because it is an important one and one we need to remember on them.
That's right. So a quick recap. Hindering factors. If you're indecisive with a D, that's bad.
Shut up!
They'll kick you out. Not answering objectives directly. Don't kind of sit there and beat around the bush and say, well, maybe... drama, you're gone, because they're done with you. Explaining too many details. Don't get caught into the weeds. Just get in there and get out and crack the whip. Don't give opinions, give options. Don't worry about what you're going to pontificate about. Just tell them what they need to know. Here are the 3 options or the 2 options that they have to select from. And then focus on the D in the room. They are, as Liz said beautifully, they are the decision makers, whether they have the title or not, because they're going to influence, they're going to push and shove. I think we got to do this. It's going to work. And rah, rah, rah. And so don't worry about necessarily the other folks in the room in terms of maintaining eye contact or trying to be direct with them. Focus on that D.
Good summary.
Yay. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. I'd like to thank Liz for being with me today. Liz, how can folks get in touch with you?
They can email me at liz@ltresults.com, or they can go to my website at ltresults.com.
Join our Facebook group. That's the best way to get in touch with us, because we like to have a lot of dialogue there. Head over to Facebook and search the Rapport Advantage podcast. Our group will appear. Just click to join. We have some great questions to get your feedback on, and we'll be happy to answer any other questions that you might have. On our next podcast, we will dive into the I's and the things that hinder an I from making decisions and getting those sales. Let me give you a hint. It's going to be a short list. So be ready. Until then, take care, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Rapport Advantage podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Join the conversation on Facebook at the Rapport Advantage and follow us on Twitter at Rapport Podcast.